You have found your way to this channel because you have a child who might be struggling with their sleep. But is it something that sleep training can solve, or is it possibly something more? Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Sarah Basio, and as the lead pediatric sleep expert at Your Zen Baby Sleep, I am proud to have said that I've helped over 500 families in my one-on-one programs with 98% success in achieving families' sleep goals. I work with families ages 0 to 8 to help modify their behavioral sleep issues and challenges and to get their little ones to sleep through the night. Sometimes though, it doesn't have to do with behavioral sleep. Sometimes there are medical implications for sleep disturbances. And anytime a client comes to my phone call and I have a sense that it might be something medical, I always want to refer out. So let's talk about the red flags that I typically see that I would encourage you to receive medical attention for. Red flag number 1, if your baby is not sick, so in a totally healthy state, and they frequently mouth breathe or snore throughout the night, this can be a red flag and an indicator of some type of breathing disturbances during sleep. What I would suggest during a pediatrician appointment is bringing up the fact that you're noticing a lot of mouth breathing and snoring. Pediatricians sometimes run with it and sometimes say, oh, that's normal. I want to empower you with the knowledge it is not normal to mouth breathe and snore all night long when we are healthy. If your pediatrician does not see this as a concern, I do encourage you to go talk to an allergist or an ENT. An ENT would be an ear, nose, or throat doctor. ENTs and allergists will have the technology to do a scope to actually go inside the nose and the tonsils to see the state of the adenoids, which are kind of like little tonsils inside our nose, as well as the tonsils inside of our throat. Sometimes when we have inflamed or enlarged tonsils and adenoids, this can cause sleep disturbances in our children. The anatomy of our children's faces also have a lot to do with this. Our babies and toddlers and preschoolers have a really tiny anatomy, and all of the little passages are teeny, teeny, tiny. So anytime there's inflammation or residual inflammation, because they're always sick at daycare, that can cause problems resulting in the mouth breathing and snoring, which can disrupt their sleep. Typically, if your child receives an enlarged adenoid or tonsil diagnosis, your doctor may recommend over-the-counter medications such as steroid nose sprays or even allergy medication to take down that inflammation, and you might see progress and improvement in their mouth breathing and snoring. We always want to go to the least invasive method first before they advance to more invasive interventions such as surgery. I can speak from my own experience with my youngest daughter. She was sleeping really well, and actually, I know this sounds crazy, but I thought that she was sleeping too much because I know that that is a thing as well. She used to sleep 13 and a half hours every night, and she would take like 3.5 hours for her naps once she was about 15 months old. That was a little alarming to me, and upon further research and really talking through with my providers over the course of several months, what we decided was that her adenoids were very enlarged, and with all of the other less invasive interventions, she was not seeing much progress. We did elect to do an adenoectomy, I think is how you pronounce it. And within 3 days, once the inflammation from the surgery went down, she was sleeping a normal amount of time, and the mouth breathing and the snoring completely went away. It was one of the best decisions I made for her because even though her sleep was too much, I knew that she needed more sleep because she wasn't sleeping restfully. This is another red flag. If your children are sleeping too much or they wake up from what should be a really good night's sleep looking exhausted, that's not normal either and is a cause to check out a more specified provider such as ENT or even sleep medicine. A less common occurrence that can be diagnosed by a sleep study through a sleep medicine doctor will be sleep apnea. Less commonly diagnosed in children who are younger, again, because the facial anatomy is so small, but it is a possibility that your child may have sleep apnea. If they do, you do want to get that checked out, and you do need to provide them with some sort of medical support so that their breathing will not be disturbed in order to get into that deep non-REM sleep and continue to sleep throughout the night. Another reason why I would refer you out to other providers before starting the process of behavioral sleep training would be when a child seems like they cannot calm down. So if you have a child who constantly is sensory seeking, what do I mean by that? They love to jump up and down. They love to roughhouse. They love to jump off furniture. They love the feeling of being squeezed and tight and held. Seemingly they're wired all of the time. They cannot sit. They cannot attend. All of those to me would say there might be some type of imbalance with their vestibular system internally inside their body. This is the body's way of self-regulation and feeling itself within its own space. When we don't feel our body in its own space, this can lead to dysregulation, and it can lead to a very difficult time falling asleep on our own at bedtime. So while we can manage these behaviors with behavioral sleep training, at the same time, I do always refer out to my occupational therapist to work through this sensory seeking behavior. This is something that occupational therapists or OTs can do and help you with strategies throughout your daytime, so that by the time we get to bedtime, where it's really stressful, nobody wants to do it, everybody has less patience, and we are in a battle of wills, at least we can know that your child has the ability to self-regulate a little more and can get into a deep sleep on their own independently. As I mentioned before, if you should bring these concerns to your pediatrician and you're not really being heard, it is not because your pediatrician doesn't find the value in your issue, but possibly because they are not experienced in the red flags or the symptoms that you are showing, or have kind of normalized hearing this frequently throughout their patients. So this is where I do encourage you to open up all of your resources to other providers who have more specialized fields of knowledge, such as, again, ENTs, allergists, sleep medicine, OTs, PTs, speech therapists, sleep consultants, because everybody in those very specific fields will be able to help you in a more specialized and individualized way. Did you like this video? Let me know by giving me a thumbs up, and on your way down there, leave me a comment. I love to interact with all of you and answer any questions that you may have. Specifically, like, how was my experience with my daughter's surgery? What was the before and after? I'd love to chat more about that. If you're looking for more information about one-on-one sleep support, please feel free to visit my website, yourzenbabysleep.com. Also, subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you are the first to know about my sleep content. As always, from my living room to yours, thank you so much for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you again next time.